What is enlightenment, and how did Immanuel Kant, one of the greatest philosophers of all time, define it? As we delve into this intriguing question, we stumble upon a vast, intricate landscape, rich with ideas and theories from across the ages. Enlightenment represents a state of intellectual and spiritual awakening, a liberation from ignorance and prejudice. Now let's turn our gaze to a central figure in this discourse, Immanuel Kant. Born in the 18th century, Kant's profound insights have left an indelible mark on the world of philosophy. His ideas, like a beacon in the night, guide us through the labyrinth of enlightenment. Kant dared to challenge the prevailing notions of his time, pushing the boundaries of human thought and understanding. So as we stand at the precipice of this philosophical expedition, we invite you to join us. Let us embark on a journey through time, exploring the life and philosophy of Immanuel Kant. Born in 1724 in Königsberg, Prussia, Kant's journey into philosophy began early in his life. His upbringing was deeply rooted in the Pietist tradition, a branch of Lutheranism that emphasized personal piety and a literal interpretation of the Bible. This religious backdrop played a pivotal role in shaping Kant's moral philosophy later in life. His thirst for knowledge was quenched at the University of Königsberg, where he studied classics, philosophy, and physics. During these academic years, Kant found himself intrigued by the works of philosopher Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz and physicist Sir Isaac Newton. Their ideas sparked Kant's curiosity, driving him to question the nature of reality, knowledge, and human morality. Through tireless study and contemplation, Kant began to form his philosophical foundations. His interest in the interplay between rational thought and sensory experience started to take root. The seeds of his future theories on metaphysics and epistemology were sown. These formative years laid the groundwork for the philosophical giant Kant was to become. Kant's philosophical journey truly began with his awakening from his dogmatic slumber. This awakening was more of an intellectual evolution, a gradual shift in his thoughts, shaping him into the philosopher we celebrate today. Immanuel Kant was not born a philosopher. It was his incessant curiosity and relentless pursuit of knowledge that led him on this path. His intellectual development was marked by a profound shift in his perspective, a paradigm shift so significant it's often compared to Copernicus's revolutionary heliocentric model of the universe. Kant's Copernican revolution in philosophy was nothing short of extraordinary. Kant reoriented the very way we approach knowledge and understanding. Instead of the traditional view that our knowledge must conform to the external world, Kant proposed that the external world must conform to our knowledge. He argued that our minds are not just passive recipients of information, but active contributors in shaping our reality. This revolutionary idea marked the birth of his critical philosophy. It was a philosophy that dared to question, dared to challenge, and dared to reform. Kant's critical philosophy was a call to arms, urging us to break free from the chains of unexamined beliefs and embark on a journey of intellectual liberation. Kant's works, Critique of Pure Reason, Critique of Practical Reason, and Critique of Judgment, are the pillars of his philosophical edifice. In these works, he explored the limits and possibilities of human knowledge, the foundations of morality, and the aesthetics of judgment. Critique of Pure Reason delves into the nature and limits of human understanding. Critique of Practical Reason grapples with morality, bringing to light the concept of the categorical imperative. Critique of Judgment bridges the gap between the previous two, presenting an enlightening discourse on aesthetics and teleological judgment. Each of these works, a testament to Kant's intellectual prowess, contributed to the evolution of Western philosophy. They challenged prevailing notions, broke traditional boundaries, and opened new horizons of thought. Kant's revolutionary ideas forever changed the landscape of Western philosophy. Enlightenment for Kant was man's emergence from his self-imposed non-age. In this context, non-age refers to a state of immaturity, not in years but in understanding, where one relies on the guidance of others rather than on one's own intellectual capacities. Kant's essay, What is Enlightenment?, serves as a manifesto for intellectual autonomy. He saw enlightenment as a process of becoming mature, of learning to think for oneself and thus stepping out of the non-age, out of the shadows of other people's ideas and beliefs. Kant recognized that this was no easy task. It requires what he called courage. Courage to question, to challenge, and to dare to know. This is encapsulated in his famous dictum, "Dare to know, have courage to use your own understanding." This daring is not just about personal intellectual development, it's about contributing to the enlightenment of society as a whole. Kant distinguished between the private and public use of reason. The private use of reason could be constrained by one's profession or role in society, but the public use of reason, the capacity to engage in open, critical discourse, must always be free. Freedom, for Kant, was not just the absence of constraints, but the ability to use one's reason without guidance from another. It's the freedom to question, to argue, to propose, to challenge. The freedom to contribute to the collective pool of knowledge and understanding. Kant's enlightenment is not a state, but a process. It's not a destination, but a journey. It's a continuous struggle against ignorance, prejudice, and dogma. It's about expanding the horizons of understanding, about pushing the boundaries of thought. It's important to remember that for Kant, enlightenment was not a solitary pursuit. It was about engaging in discourse, about learning from others, about challenging and being challenged. It was about the collective advancement of human understanding. For Kant, enlightenment was not just a concept, but a call to action, a call to dare, to question, to think, to reason, to engage, a call to enlightenment. Immanuel Kant's philosophical journey did not end with his death in 1804. His intellectual legacy continues to shape the world, resonating through the corridors of philosophical thought. Kant's ideas have become the bedrock of many philosophical movements, inspiring generations of thinkers to challenge conventions and seek truth. His concept of enlightenment, daring to think for ourselves, has influenced the way we perceive autonomy and freedom. His categorical imperative, the idea that we should act in such a way that our actions could become universal laws, is still widely debated in ethics today. Moreover, his critique of pure reason continues to be a cornerstone in epistemology, questioning the limits of human knowledge. His writings on aesthetics, morality, and metaphysics have raised questions that are still being explored today. In a world where knowledge is constantly evolving, Kant's philosophy reminds us of the importance of critical thinking and the pursuit of truth. In understanding Kant's vision of enlightenment, we are compelled to dare to know, to think for ourselves, and to constantly seek wisdom.